Guys, the SBF trial is insane. We got some transcripts from the interview with Gary Wang, and I don't really see how Sam Bankman-Fried is really going to get out of this one. Look at these transcripts and these interviews. Let's go with the insurance fraud interview first. So, basically, SBF trial day 4. This is from BitMEX Research Twitter account. FTX published insurance fund number was fake, and FTX published insurance fund balance was produced by a random number generator. You heard that right, people. Aside from using QuickBooks to handle corporate taxes, SBF's insurance balance was produced not by actual facts, but by a random number generator. The transcript extracts below. Question, and this is testimony. And the number here, what is the size of the backstop fund listed? 5.5 million USD and 5 million FTT. Now, was this number listed on the tweet accurate? No. And this is like one of SBF's insiders actually answering this question. Why not? For one, there is no FTT in the insurance fund. It's just USD number. And two, the number listed here does not match what was in the database. So he's basically saying, guys, this is fraud. Because not only is there no FTT like they stated, the number they reported here is not what's in the database. Question, what do you mean it doesn't match? Answer, the number in the database was a different number. Fraud again, right there. Where did this number come from? And this is rich, people. This is rich. This comes from a page on the website that claims to show that what was in the insurance fund, but it was actually calculated separately. So it was a fake number. Yes, fake number, people. Random number generator. Was the real number higher or lower than this fake number? And the answer, lower. Yes, first, line 16 is saying that the number of this function is, line 17, it's getting to the daily, it's getting to the total volume of trades from the past 24 hours on FTX. Then in line 19, it's taking that number, multiplying it, then multiplying that by a random number that's around 7,500, and then dividing the result by 1 billion. That's a number that gets added to the number that shows up on the website. So indeed, it is some random ass number that they generated, and it has no relevance to FTX or at all. So this is definitely 100% insurance fraud. So if nothing else, Sam Bankman-Fried and FTX and all these guys are actually committing insurance fraud. And this is a testimony from one of the former co-execs. And I don't think SBF is getting away from this one because they have the hard evidence in terms of the actual number, and then their corresponding testimony from one of the execs claiming that the number that they showed for insurance was indeed fraudulent. This is not something you get away from, and this is not something you recover from legally. Not possible, folks. So once again, SBF is screwed big time. Nothing he can do will get him out of this one, folks. But wait, we got more. We got more rich testimony from one of his former friends and partners. And this isn't Carolyn Ellison. I think she testifies later. And this is the one from Gary Wang. So update from SBF FTX trial questioning Gary Wang, co-founder of FTX. Did you commit financial crimes while working at FTX? Answer, yes. Remember, Gary Wang has agreed to a plea deal where he gets a much reduced sentence in exchange for cooperating with prosecutors. What types of crimes did you commit? Wire fraud, securities fraud, and commodities fraud. So they committed all sorts of fraud. It's a complete fraud fiasco. Did you commit these crimes by yourself or with other people? Answer, with other people. So, and then they asked, who were the main people you committed these crimes with? Sam Bankman-Fried, Nishad Singh, and Carolyn Ellison. So SBF, the main CEO, Nishad, I think, who's the chief engineer, and Carolyn Ellison, who handled Alameda Trading. You're talking about Alameda Research. Yes. Everyone who's involved in that, fraudulent. Okay, we'll come back to it in a minute. When you say withdrew unlimited amounts of funds, whose funds are you talking about? And Gary Wang answered, those of customers. Let's talk about, and customers of what? Customers of FTX. Confirmed right there. by the man himself, Gary Wang. Gary Wang had basically access into everything because he was the co-founder, and I think he was like the CTO or something. So he basically said right there, customers of FTX, they were using that money for their gambling. Question, Mr. Wang, do you see any of these people you committed those crimes with in the courtroom today? You can stand up if you need to. Answer, yes. Who do you see? Sam Bankman-Fried. Boom, boom, right there. You see that? No getting away from that. Mr. Roos, let the record reflect the witness has identified the defendant. Smack dab in the face. Question, Mr. Wang, in general terms for now, and this is the exact transcript from the courtroom, by the way, what did you do with the defendant that was the wire fraud you were referring to? We gave special privileges to Alameda Research on FTX, which allowed it to withdraw unlimited amounts of funds from the platform, and we lied about this to the public. Question, when you say withdrew unlimited funds from the platform, what are you referring to? Answer, if it had the ability to, regardless of what was in the account, to withdraw unlimited amounts of money. So they could actually withdraw more than what was there in the entire account. So not only did they withdraw billions of dollars of money without asking the customer, they could actually withdraw more money than what was in the actual account. That is insane. And remember, this is Gary Wang, the co-founder and insider. He had access to everything. One could say that Gary Wang is now smacking SBF with his Wang. You see what I did there? Yeah. So this is the nail in the coffin. And remember, we still have 3 days of testimony or more days of testimony left on this SBF case. Carolyn Ellison and all these other guys, I think Nishad wanted a plea deal as well. SBF, I think, wanted a plea deal, but I don't think they're going to really give him a plea deal unless he has dirt on Gary Gensler or something. Or maybe his parents, and I don't know if he'd be willing to do that. Like, everyone is trying to get in on a plea deal on this SBF case. This is like drama. Like, you can't make this shit up. You really, really can't make this stuff up. Not even a single bit. Like, this is kind of like, you know those like drama lawsuit like TV shows? This is like that kind of drama, if not even more. Like, these guys are plain stupid. I mean, yes, they did trick a lot of customers and scammed them out of a lot of money, but this is like the stupid version of like court TV. Where like when you hear these testimonies, like it's like all cut black and white. Like they can point to like where it happened, when it happened, who did it, and why it happened. They have like everything. It's very uncommon for a court case to actually come to this. Usually there are some missing links to the information and the data. In this case, there are 0 missing links to the information and data. I am very surprised they actually haven't charged SBF's parents yet, because it was very much notified that his dad was actually part of the scam, and his dad actually dragged his mom into it because his dad got tens of millions of dollars in benefits. Now, there is a civil lawsuit against his parents, and they're probably going to have to fork up tens of millions of dollars or everything that they took from the company. But there should be a criminal case against his parents as well, because like they perpetuated this fraud as well, and they were enablers of SBF's fraud. So they should lose their house definitely, and much, much more. But I don't think that's actually going to happen. I think they're just going to nail SBF. I mean, his co-defendants or his co-founders are going to jail, but for very short amounts of time. I heard for like Carolyn and Gary Wang, it was like 2 years of prison and then some house arrest. Sam Bankman-Fried is probably going to get 10 to 20 years, maybe like 10 years without parole or something for his part in these crimes, because he seems unrepentant and he still doesn't think he did anything wrong. And he's still trying to, now his lawyer team is trying to pin the blame on Carolyn Ellison. I think they're still trying to blame CZ, but I don't think that's actually working, because CZ's not really a part of like, his mismanagement of funds. And I don't really think he's sorry for what he's done, because Sam Bankman-Fried is one of those guys that's raised up, that's never really had to pay up or fess up to whatever he's done in the past. So this obviously is really, really bad testimony for Sam Bankman-Fried. It basically hits on every single point. Gary Wang and the others providing testimony are pointing the finger directly at Sam Bankman-Fried. And these are not a bunch of nobodies in the organization. These are top level brass that worked daily with Sam Bankman-Fried, that was in the penthouse in the Bahamas with Sam Bankman-Fried. So they know everything. They know where all the trails are hidden. They had the passwords to the trading engine, and basically they had the passwords to everything. And I do think his lead engineer is going to testify against him as well. So these guys know all the ins and outs of FTX, and like every one of their testimonies just stacks up against him, and there is no way he would actually get out of this. So that's the news for today. This is like real drama in the courtroom, and this is better than CSI Law. And this is insane. You're going to have like former lover quarrel tomorrow with Carolyn Ellison and SBF. Stay tuned, folks. Stay tuned. This is hot. I will see you guys next time.